Welcome to the Real Film Nerds Podcast.
Hello, COVIDies and COVIDites. Welcome to Real Film Nerds episode number 240. I don't know how you're doing in your neck of the woods, but I legitimately think I know more people right now that have COVID than don't. It's freaking exploding like a wildfire here in northern Arizona. So anyways, you will find that out later on towards the end of the podcast when I had to call into the radio station because things are just ramping up and things are not going well here. So, Mysterious Mike Talent, how's the COVID biz in your world?
Oh, no, everything's fine. You know, there's quite a bit of COVID, but I feel like as long as you follow the masks or have the vaccine, I don't know, man. I don't really know anyone who's gotten COVID too well. I mean, there are a few people that I know who've had it, but not really. Maybe the more concerning thing was when we were at the hospital for the birth of our new child.
Yeah, Martina?
Almost all of the staff there was like, oh yeah, I had COVID, but it was like a year ago.
That's a little concerning, but at least it was a year ago and not like right now. Because like I know people right now. Seriously, my work is shut down because we had an outbreak at my work. It's freaking everywhere here. I don't know. Maybe it's just Prescott and everybody's just like, whatever. I'll just get it. I don't care. I don't know. Anyways, all right, Mike, I'll get back on topic, but it's still, we've talked about it for a year. I mean, COVID's not going away. It's here to stay, clearly. So, Mike, Real Film Nerds, episode number 240. Yes, 240. I looked it up. I already started doing the website, since Mike has to, sleep. He can't do things. Anyways, episode 240, the Netflix original, Kate, or is it pronounced Kate? It's Kate, right?
I think it's Kate.
It's Kate?
Yeah.
I know, I'm just messing with you, Mike.
She's American.
I know, I'm just messing with you, Mike, because guess what? You get to give us probably one of the most entertaining rundowns we're ever going to have in our podcast. Ready, Mike? Give us a rundown. Try to pronounce these names for the 2021 film, Kate.
All right, Matt. Well, thanks for that introduction. Now I'm just destined to mess it up. But anyway, this was directed by Cedric Nicholas Troyan, written by Umar Alim. It's starring Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Woody Harrelson, Miku Patricia Martineau, Tadu Ubu Asanu. And this is about a female assassin who has 24 hours to get vengeance on her murderer before she dies.
Well, Mike, you didn't screw up Woody Harrelson, so congratulations.
Thanks, man.
When you were test reading, you screwed it up. You were I know you're doing it on purpose, but it was funny. I thought you were going to do it here just to mess with people.
No, I do know that one.
Now, how do you spell Woody Harrelson? Do you spell it Carnage?
No, I think it starts with a W.
That's a movie that comes out next week that we will not be reviewing on this podcast yet because, Mike, what starts next week in celebration of October? What starts?
Our Harvest Horror Fest.
It should be just renamed Mysterious Mike Talent's Harvest Horror Fest because it's kind of your baby. It's like the one time where I can just kind of chill back and it's all on your shoulders. Except for the editing and the website and writing up the notes and going on the radio and sending it to the news outlets. Yeah, it's still yours.
Yeah, besides all that. Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting way ahead of ourselves. Mike, first impressions. I like this movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was a lot better than it was going to be. It's a trope. It's been done 100 times. It's a revenge film. It's an action flick. It's very much in the vein of, as everyone keeps saying, John Wick. It is a diehard assassin action movie from start to finish, and I really liked it.
So, Matt, I kind of have a similar opinion. Go figure.
Shocker.
This was great. I don't know. Yeah, like you said, I mean, we've seen this particular story. I don't know. I was just trying to think of the latest movie they saw it on, with like an assassin who gets wronged by somebody. But there's all kinds of movies. Like I'm just trying to think of, what was that one with the flower? Colombiana?
Yes.
Was one kind of like this. I mean, this is over and over again, but this was really well done.
Oh,
it was fun.
Fantastic. It was a lot of fun. The cinematography is amazing. Who knew Mary Elizabeth Winstead was an action star in the making? I mean, she's done some really good stuff. Scott Pilgrim. She did the Fargo television series on FX. That's actually where she met and fell in love with my boy, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ewan McGregor. But she just knocked it out of the park, man, with the martial arts, with the gunplay, with her acting. I don't want to spoil it. I'll just stop right there. But her acting overall, she was really good in this movie, and I really liked it. Granted, again, it's not original. We've seen this many times, but if you like this kind of stuff, Kate is well worth the watch. Make sure to hit it up on Netflix.
Yeah, man. I was trying to think, this might be my favorite Netflix movie that has been released.
Ever?
Well, Netflix original.
Okay. All right. Yeah, out of the Netflix original, this is your favorite, huh? Really?
I think this might be, man. I don't know. I really like the AI movie that they came out with quite a while ago. Anon, I think was the name of it.
Anon for anonymous, yeah.
Yeah, Anon, yeah.
Mike, personally, I was a huge fan of the Bay Bang.
Oh, well, I mean, cinematography, like, it was a beautiful movie. Great special effects. Terrible story.
All right, fine. But it was the Bay Bang, Mike.
Yeah. All right. Was that Underground 9? Was that that's what that was called, right?
9 Underground, yeah. Close enough.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I mean, no, dyslexic. It's fine.
But yeah, no, I don't know if it's my favorite Netflix original, but it's definitely up there. It's very good. I really enjoyed it, for sure.
I mean, I like the Jamie Foxx one that we watched not too long ago about the power or whatever. I'm trying to think of the name. The name's escaping me.
Yeah, dude, we watched so many movies, but yeah, the one about the pill with Jamie Foxx and the kid, the dude I really like, I'm forgetting his name as well. This is what happens when you get old or you're tired all the time or both. So I'm going with old on my excuse. You're going to go with tired. Sound good?
Sounds good. And then there was like Extraction. Like there's quite a few that are like, I feel like they're close to being really awesome movies. But this one was just awesome. Like from beginning to end. I loved everything about it.
Okay, Mike, so I think we should move on. We got our first impressions out of the way. I recommend people check it out if they're into action movies, shoot 'em ups, assassins. Mike, do you I assume you recommend people check it out as well on Netflix?
Oh, absolutely, man.
All right, Mike, so go ahead.
All right, Matt. I need to see what fall flavor of beer you are drinking today.
Mike, I am keeping it going with the Sam Adams Oktoberfest until I run out. And I actually had one today at lunch, too. I went out to Red Robin. Yum. It was okay. I always get the same thing whenever I go there. But they had Sam Adams Oktoberfest on tap. And I was like, well, it is 10:30 in the morning, but I'm going to get one anyways.
Well, why not? I mean, they're serving it.
Yeah. I mean, I got to get it while I can, I mean, before you know it, Oktoberfest will be gone and then it'll be winter lager. So I need to go stock up. I need to go get a pallet.
All right. Well, that sounds good. Matt, on my end, I am drinking the Aldi pumpkin ale, which is just called pumpkin ale.
2 weeks in a row. So obviously Mike has not left the house.
Yeah, that's not a thing right now.
Do you know what the sun looks like?
Oh, I mean, I go outside to look at it sometimes, but that's it.
Okay, all right. I was going to say, it's the bright yellow thing in the sky that shines through your windows.
I'm aware of when it's day or night. It's just not I might not be very awake.
Either time. Okay, got it. All right, Mike. Well, so this should be a fairly simple one. Mike, how does Kate relate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Thanks for asking, Matt. This one, so I'm going to screw it up again, but Den Ubu Asano, who plays the character Rinji, is also in the Thor Ragnarok and Thor as Hogan.
Very good, Michael. Very good. Did you catch it when you were watching the film, or did you have to look it up?
I thought he was recognizable, but I did not remember that he was in Thor. Honestly, I mean, it's so many characters, dude.
Yeah. Oh, I know. There's so many, but he was one of the early ones. He's one of Thor's right hand men in like their little group.
That's what I figured. You know, like his little like kickback. I don't know.
I don't know what you call
kicking group.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they're like. Just his friends who also help fight stuff.
Yeah. His warriors, drinking buddies, friends, all of those things. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Mike. Well, we are now in the illustrious spoiler section for Kate. This is a tough one to talk about without spoiling it, so I'm glad we got to it quickly. What I was elaborating to earlier was how Mary Elizabeth Winstead portrayed slowly dying through this entire film, and she did a wonderful job. I mean, it's downright disturbing watching her slowly die for, an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, and I thought that was a great like way to add like urgency to her character's like reactions. I mean, either way, if someone tried to do something to her or whatever, a revenge movie, this one it's like she already has a death sentence and she's just like, wait, what? Hold on. Well, I'm gonna figure this out. And she just grabs all these stimulants, and I was like, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, she just forces herself through the pain with adrenaline shots and all kinds of other delightful looking pills.
Yeah. So no, this one was fun, and you're right. It was really well done about her deterioration over the time, like especially like, and then the fighting scenes. Like this was just a great movie, man.
It is. It's really good from start to finish. The makeup was really, really good. Her slowly not being able to do as well as she's fighting people, and she's getting her ass kicked basically the farther and farther along she goes. She's not Superwoman. She starts out as this badass Superwoman assassin, but as the poison takes its toll, which is actually radiation poisoning, she starts slowing down and people start just really wailing on her. And one of the biggest things that I really love this movie, and I think what really sets it apart, is that it was not filmed in the US, and it's predominantly not an American cast or British cast. It is predominantly Japanese, and it was filmed in Tokyo and other parts of Japan, and I really liked it. I mean, you really got to see some really badass stunts from start to finish. I mean, it was great.
I guess if I did have a complaint about this movie, it would be the lack of Woody Harrelson. Like, he's in it every so often, but he's such a great, actor. It would have been nice to see him, but his role was important and he did great in his role. It would have been nice to see him a little bit more in this.
Yeah, well, he's the handler and the trainer, and you see him in flashbacks, and you see him at the beginning and see him at the end, but he's not really peppered throughout, unless it's a flashback. So I can see that.
But, like, I think that's really my only complaint, man. I like the bonding between the girl...
Miku?
Miku. I'm trying to forget. What was her? Annie?
Yeah.
Annie. Yeah, Annie's the character name.
Well, it's Ani because it's Japanese, but yeah.
Yeah. Annie and Kate, I like their relationship. It seemed more realistic. Like, she seemed like a real like teenager and just wanted to do like she was into herself, and I don't know, it just seemed better. Like, I guess comparing it to last week's movie where the teenager was just very strangely acted, I felt like this one seemed more realistic.
But Mike, he was macho.
Yeah, I know, Matt, and he had lots of cock.
Huge cock. It was everywhere.
Right. Yeah. Anyway, so I really liked her character. I thought it was well done the way that they didn't really want to talk to each other. They didn't like each other, and they a little bit grow on each other, but it's not even really that much. Like, I even like that. Like, it was pretty abrasive most of the time.
Yeah, well, I thought she did a very good job. Okay, I'm just going to warn you now, Mike. My lights just flickered. So if the power goes out, that's what happens. We are getting a pretty good thunderstorm right now in Prescott. So hopefully we can hold out to the end of the podcast, but we'll find out, Mike. We'll find out. And I'm not going to edit this out. So anyways, yeah, Miku, Ani, played by Miku, I thought she did a really good job. And they did finally reveal, I mean, you knew it was coming that Mary Elizabeth Winstead character killed her dad, and she owns up to it, and she turns her back on her. But then later on, when you find out that she was just doing her job, Ani doesn't really hold it against her. Like, she understands, she's not happy, but she like understands that it wasn't your choice. You were just doing your job. You're clearly a puppet of the Yakuza.
Her emotions, like, throughout her because she had a difficult family relationship, I felt like they were more genuine than the last movie we were watching with Cry Macho.
You know, one that kind of bothers me about this film is you never really find out who Woody and Mary Elizabeth are working for. Like, you know, it's a group, and later on it's like the Yakuza, but was it the Yakuza or wasn't, or were they like, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like they were kind of like independent contractors, but Woody just got tied up in trying to become more, which they allude to a little bit in this, but like, yeah, they kind of leave it vague, and that's fine too. Like, one thing in this movie that was interesting, they never actually show Kate's there to kill the big boss, and there's pictures that he hands her, and you never get to see the pictures. And I thought that was interesting.
Which pictures are you talking about? I'm confused. I don't remember this.
So when she shows up to that house to kill the old Yakuza leader.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Kojima.
Yeah. He hands her a bunch of pictures, but she never looks, like, you never get to see, you, the viewer, never get to see them. But you see her.
I must have missed that part.
You see her reaction, and then he talks about how Western influences and stuff, and then it shows her like thinking about like, oh, who could, and then like, things happen. So
I'm wondering, because I wonder if that ties into her being raised by Woody as a young child and becoming an assassin. Because I mean, there's some flashbacks where she's like murdering people that are clearly adults, and she's doing it in a very brutal way because Woody didn't load the gun. I'm wondering the relationship is there, if they're relatives or father or mentor. I don't know. There's something there, because to kill someone that brutally is personal. Like, that's personal, especially for a kid. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, no. There could have been some more stuff about the backstory, but I feel like they touched on it enough that we were good. Like, she had a rough story, rough life growing up. Woody scooped her up somehow. Things happen. She's amazing. Kill her now.
Yeah, I'm not saying we need it. I'm just saying there's some things that I'm just like, I don't understand. But yes, the focus is the story that's going on in front of us, and not so much telling us the history of the characters. There's just enough to help us advance the story. And, Mike, I don't know what Boom Boom Lemon is, but I definitely want to try it because they kept talking about it.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I kind of enjoyed that there was just this little like subtle oh man, it's gone. Like or like whatever. It seemed like it was very popular because she went to like a vending machine and it's out. They were at some store, just some grocery like convenience store. It was out, and it was like only the Yakuza guy had it, and like Woody Harrelson had it too. It's like, is this some like fancy drink that's just hard to find? I don't know.
It's probably like Mountain Dew in the Japanese world. And I mean, I understand. Everybody loves Mountain Dew, especially Code Red.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a real drink or not. Did you look it up, man?
No, I did not Google it. I'm sorry, Mike.
You suck, and so do I.
Well, thanks for admitting it, Mike, to our listeners that I suck. How dare you?
It was more me. It's more me. I should have looked that up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're the researcher. I'm the worker bee. You're the researcher. You're the thinker. I'm the worker bee. Sound good?
Sounds good. Matt, you talked a little bit about cinematography, and I really liked just seeing the different parts of wherever this was filmed. I'm not 100%. I mean, I know it was Japan, but I don't know what areas and places.
I don't know. It's supposed to take place in
cool.
Tokyo, but they might have filmed it elsewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, it was cool. Like just some of the alleyways and different things. It was such a different look than a lot of our movies that we see all the time with the New Yorks and the LAs. Like, I feel like everyone who's not from America thinks that America looks like LA or New York, and that's it.
Well, Mike, that's one of the things I've talked about before. I would love to see more and more films shot elsewhere. I don't remember what movie we were talking about on it right now. I've talked about it several times, but I love it when films are shot elsewhere other than the two largest cities in the United States, New York and LA. I mean, go shoot a freaking movie in Austin, Texas. Go shoot a movie in Dallas. Go shoot a movie, hell, in San Diego. Anchorman was actually shot in San Diego. It looks completely different than LA and New York, but when you go overseas, like I have a desire to go to Japan. That's like one of my things. One of the places I'd really like to go is Japan just because it's so different and unique. But I'm afraid of stepping on someone because I am dramatically taller than most of them.
Matt, if you went on their public transportation, you would be like, you probably couldn't get in it. But also, when you're there, like you're just going to be towering over. You'll be this giant person.
I know it's going to be brutal, but I'd still like to go and check out Japan one of these days just because their culture is extremely advanced, but also not at the same time. Like they have a culture that's very respectful of their ancestors, their elders, their old ways, their shrines, their religions. It's really kind of cool. I studied it a lot in college, and I think it would be a really cool spot to check out, even though I'm going to stick out like a sore thumb, putting it mildly.
Hey, that's okay, man. I think it'd be neat. I've always wanted to go to Japan myself. I think it'd be a neat place to visit at least once.
Yeah. Oh, no, dude. It would be cool. I mean, the tech and the video game culture and just the food and how, it's kind of awkward how everybody's like living on top of each other, but that's what happens. It's an island. There's not a whole lot you can do. So you got to go up. But I think it'd be really, really cool. I mean, I remember watching the Anthony Bourdain series, his most recent one, No Borders, I think is what it was called. I don't remember. Anyways, he went to Japan, and he's gone to Japan a lot, but he went to Japan and was just like shit-faced the whole time, going to all this cool stuff, like plays and like karaoke. And I was just like, man, dude, that just looks like a blast. And Anthony Bourdain is like my height. He's like 6'2", 6'3".
Hey, no, I mean, it can be done, obviously. And I think it'd be fun. I talked to one of my friends who went there, and he was over 6 foot, not as tall as you. And he said it was an experience, man. He was like a giant.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm a giant here. I mean, literally, I have to buy cars that I fit into. I don't get to buy the car I want. Just like my pants and shoes.
True.
And everything else. I don't get to buy the shit I want. I have to buy the shit that fits.
True.
So, all right, Mike. Well, what else do you have to add about the Netflix original, Kate?
Man, I feel like we talked about most of the things that were important. The fighting scenes in this seemed very realistic, and a lot of knife play. It was cool. Like, I thought it was good. Well done. Didn't seem fast forward or anything. Like, it seemed really like smooth and John Wicky, I guess.
Well then, Mike, I should ask the most important question. Dude, please tell me you heard that. That was really loud.
Okay, I heard that a little bit.
Okay, Mike. So before I lose my power, how many reels do you give the Netflix original Kate?
Dude, I'm gonna give this one 4.5 reels. I had a great time.
Dude, wow. Holy cow. You got me beat. Wow, you really liked it. I mean, I loved it too, but, I rate it lower than you just because it's a story we've seen over and over and over again. And I wish there was a little bit more Woody and a little bit more backstory. But I give it a high score, but not as high as yours. Man, dude, that's impressive. Wow.
Man, I just had a great time. Like, I don't know, maybe just because I had low expectations, but man, what a great movie.
I think this is the highest rated Netflix film you've given. For sure.
Yeah, I think so too, man. Like, most of Netflix films, like, I usually like them pretty good, but they're just missing something. Like, it just doesn't have like the perfect flow, or the action's a little, I don't know, just something's off. And this one, no, this is right on.
Well, Mike, I'm not as nice as you, I guess. I don't know. I feel like it's the same story over and over and over again, which isn't bad. I mean, I liked it. But I give it 3.5 reels. So,
hey, that's okay, Matt. It's okay.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks. You make me feel better.
Not every movie's Free Guy.
Dude,
okay?
Free Guy was freaking awesome. I want to go see that again. I really do. I need to go see that in the theaters. That movie's awesome.
It did really well. So that's great, man. That's great.
I'm still sad we missed Card Counter. I should have told people that at the start of the pod. I told people on the radio, which you'll hear later, that you got Card Counter in your town. I did not. The closest I got to it was Sedona or Phoenix. I did not have the time to run down there and watch a movie over the weekend. So that's why we went with Kate, and I think it was well worth it.
Yeah, it was worth it, man. I think Card Counter would have been fun, but this one was great.
So
unexpectedly.
So all right, Mike, next week we are in October. It is Harvest Horror Fest time. Harvest Horror Fest 2021. Mike, what is your first movie that we are going to watch?
All right, Matt. So I'm very excited about Harvest Horror Fest. I'm just tired all the time now, but I will power through. And the first movie we're going to do is The Strangers. And you can currently stream it on Netflix. And I can't wait to talk about this movie. It is quite interesting.
So, Mike, The Stranger, is that where you sit on your hand until it goes numb, and then you're losing your mind laughing, for those of you who don't see it?
No, Matt, it has nothing to do with that. It is The Strangers. There's an S. It's plural.
So is that both hands then?
No. Anyway, disregard everything that Matt has just said. This one is just good. It's just, this one eats you up inside because it seems so real, and it's just terribly creepy. And then it starts off real bitter.
I don't know if you know this, but I have not seen it.
Oh man, you're in for a treat, Matt. This one, this one actually might give you nightmares. It's something that bothers you about this one.
That's fine. I don't sleep already, so just add it to the list.
Yeah, well, I'll save it for next week. Anyway, so I'm very excited to start this off with that one, and then we have a few more that Matt and I are working out, but yeah.
Well, that sounds like fun, Mike. We definitely need to chat about the others that we're going to do, because we're going to do 4. There's 4 weeks in the month. We didn't get 5 this year. There was one year where we got 5, and we did 5. There were 5 Wednesdays, and we got 5 movies in. So we're only going to get 4 in, but it's going to be awesome. And one of them is a new movie, and that'll be the 3rd week, We will tell you that as it comes out. Ooh.
Yes, but I'm pretty sure some people could look around and figure it out.
Starts with the word Halloween.
Correct.
All right, Mike. I don't have anything else. Why don't you take us out?
All right, Matt. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. And make sure to catch us on the socials, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And, go out there, stream a movie, watch a movie at the theater. The theaters would love it. We'll catch you next week. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening to The Real Film Nerds. Now, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Real Film Nerds. Now, go out and catch a movie.
Good morning, Magic 99.1. Who's this?
It's your favorite person in the whole world who talks about movies.
You got that one right. How you doing, Matt Hinshaw?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing, Magic Lisa, local and live 99.1?
I'm doing good. Thank you for calling in. I'd rather have you in studio, but I think it's best that you call in. I appreciate it.
Well, you got to be cautious. I know more people right now than I did this time last year that have COVID and are in bed.
Yeah,
so
me
I
too.
totally understand.
Me too. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. You got to see a movie over the weekend, though. You had a little fun, I'm assuming. What'd you see and what'd you think?
So we watched a movie on Netflix called Kate because the film my co-host and I originally wanted to watch did not come out here.
Oh.
It is in limited release, and the closest place that has it is Sedona or Phoenix. So we opted for Netflix.
Perfect. Perfect. And the movie was Kate, you said. And what'd you think?
It's not your kind of movie. I'll put it that way. How's that?
Why? Is it violent? Is it a shoot 'em up murder movie?
It is. Yes, it is a hardcore action shoot 'em up assassin, John Wick style kind of movie, and with a lot of revenge sprinkled in.
Gotcha. All right. Well, was it your kind of movie?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. It stars Mary Elizabeth Winstead as the assassin woman, and then it has Woody Harrelson as her handler. And she is an assassin in Japan, specifically mostly in Tokyo, and they are targeting the Yakuza. And I thought it was a really interesting take on an assassin revenge film because it didn't take place in the United States. It's almost entirely Japanese actors, stuntmen, actresses, except for, our two main characters. And it's just, the stunts were just phenomenal.
Really?
I really enjoyed it.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, you weren't alone. 87% of Google users liked it, but Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 41%. Wah, wah, wah.
That's fine. Nobody looks at them anyways, right?
Well, I kind of do, but okay. So you say you like the action and you like the story and you enjoyed it. Well, there you go. How many reels are you going to give it?
Yeah. I'm not going to say it was like a great film, like over the top, a must see.
Yeah.
But it's definitely well worth a watch if you got the time. I give it a 3.5.
3.5 out of 5 reels. Okay. Now, have you talked to your mother about it?
I talked to her a little bit about it, yes. She actually watched it before me.
Okay. All right. We're going to put in a call to Ma Hinshaw to see what she thought about the movie. Matt, what are we going to look at for next week?
So next week is the start of our annual Harvest Horror Fest, where we review horror movies
yes,
for the
I
month of
love
October.
It. Wonderful. And what are you going to watch?
So our first one is on Netflix. It's called The Strangers.
Strangers. And have you seen it before?
I have not. No, that's one thing my co-host, I kind of put him in charge of the Horror Fest because he loves horror films. And so I kind of let him pick whatever, and he tries to pick stuff that he knows I haven't seen that he probably has.
Okay, good. Okay, I hope you love it, and I can't wait to talk to you about it. Can't wait to talk to your Ma Hinshaw coming up next on what station, Maddie?
The magnificent Magic 99.1.
I have her on the line. It's Matt Hinshaw's Ma Hinshaw on Magic 99.1. Good morning, Ma Hinshaw. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine. It's really cold down here. It's 53.
Can you believe it? I mean, overnight, summer's gone, just like that.
I know. And, I'm a Phoenix person. I like heat.
Yeah. So you've got to turn up the heat, lady, right?
Correct.
Well, I'm so glad that you're warm enough to chat with us this morning about the movie Kate. Now, Matt gave it 3.5 reels out of 5. What did you think about the movie?
Oh, there was so much blood.
Blood. Yeah, he said I wouldn't enjoy the movie. Too much violence.
No, you would not. Anyone who is not nuts about, I lost body count.
Oh, really?
But the girl, Kate, is very good. She's very athletic. She does all sorts of stuff. And the plot, I couldn't mention a thing because it's so involved. It'd give away the movie.
Right.
And they have a girl in there. I think she's maybe 12 or 13. I'm not sure how old.
Yeah.
She was very good, but a little shocking because she used the F-bomb.
Oh.
So anybody who's having their kids watch it and they don't want the kids to hear, some of that,
Yeah.
just want to give you a heads up on that.
Right. And anything else? I mean, it is rated R, they're saying. So.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I would think so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But on Netflix, anybody can watch it if the parents aren't paying attention, right?
Well, that's true, and it's not going to bother them because they probably hear it in school, but,
Right.
Just in case. And it was beautiful photography of Tokyo. I mean, it was really, really pretty, very good.
And
and
yeah, was it interesting to see a woman play the assassin, the lead role as an assassin?
Yes, and she did a very, very good job. I mean, she really did.
As far as assassins go, right?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, wow. Okay, so how many cookies are you going to give it?
I'm going to give it, I'll give it 3.
You'll give
cookies.
it 3 cookies. All right. Would you watch it again?
No, I don't think so. It's long. I think it's a couple hours long.
Why can't you talk Matt into watching a chick flick or a drama that we would enjoy?
Well, I'm working at it, but I know that October Horror Fest is coming.
Yes.
And so I will need to watch those. I usually do. I don't think there'll be as much blood.
Right. A little more horror, a little less violence. That sounds good to me. Ma Hinshaw, you are always a delight to talk to on the phone. We will chat with you next week.
Oh, thank you.
All right,
Have
Ma.
a good week.
You do the same. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.